as I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you. So make it last forever. Stop in time. Yeah, I'm surrendering. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you. So
Am I safe for walking out on us? Oh, or am I losing touch? Too many games, now all our chips are lost. Oh, luck was not enough. I opened my eyes.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me. Hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me. No alive, make it last forever. Stop in time, yeah, I'm surrendering. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We are here and we have some awesome, and I mean awesome, Call of Duty action for you guys to enjoy. And joining me today, like usual, folks, is gonna be my man, the myth, the legend himself. It's gonna be Nico. Nico, you there, my dude? Hello? My Discord might be a bit buggy right now, and you should be able to get a feed. We should hear from him in just due time, folks, in due time. But wow, what an explosive and crazy week we had last week in week 4 with the new debut of a new roster. Uh, that new roster that impressed so many people and is an absolutely stunning group. The new roster picked up by the side of Team Flawless, and it's man, they look absolutely unstoppable early on. But we have like a ton of matches to still come from the regular season, as we still have a full second half of the regular season to still obviously get underway. Now, that being said, this is the week where we finish off the last matches of that first half, where so then every team would have played each other at least once. Then off stream will be the first matches for this second half of the season, and when it comes to these on stream ones, um, sorry, um, when it comes to the on stream matches, we are gonna have all the ones that are that are still to remain from the first half. Those are gonna be the ones that you guys are gonna see this week. So of the matches that we have for this week, you guys will be seeing. You'll see the side of NeX Gaming here up against King's Grand Killers. You'll have the Divine Future side up against 302 Blue. You're gonna see, in Group A as well, you'll see the side of Team Flawless up against Divided We Fall. You'll see ADS Gaming up against Team Velis. Or Redux Rain. That'll be the last match in the group. Oh, and High Five versus Elemental Gaming. Sorry, those are all of the matches that you guys will be seeing in Group A. Now, looking over to Group B, there's still action to still be, to be tracked when it comes to, Week 4 matches. We had 2 off-stream matches that didn't work, and the first one being that didn't work out, and that we're gonna have play off-stream this week. Matches, a match by Zealous Squad, where they have to play off against Velis, I believe. Yeah, so that off-stream match didn't get to play last week, so that one still has to be played. We have Zealous Squad, though, playing on-stream this week up against the side of Team Spades later on this week. You have later this evening today, you guys are going to see, actually right in front of you guys, KGK versus NeX Gaming. You're going to also see later on this week, you'll see the side of Dawn of Chaos take on the 302 Gold side. You'll also see the last match, I believe, of that group being the team of OTB versus Team Velis. So yeah, that's the last match of that group. Now, yeah, Discord's region. Discord's just absolutely chalked up right now when it comes to being able to hear Nico. I don't know what the reason is behind it. So if anybody in chat has has any suggestions on how we can resolve this issue, please let me know. But other than that, little blimp on the radar there, we are going to continue to go. We want to hear Nico, and Nico will be whacked in as soon as as soon as possible. Now let's jump into this map set here before we obviously torch these players' time any longer. So the maps that you guys are going to see today in this matchup is going to start off with Checkmate, then go to another Checkmate, then go to Raid, Moscow, and then Raid again. So we're guaranteed the first 3, folks. The next 2 are bonuses if we do see the extension to 4th or 5th map. But we are at least on for 2 Checkmates and then a Raid. So that's going to be exciting. That's going to be interesting to see. And what's going to be a really big factor, in my opinion, especially when you have back-to-back maps or same maps in the set, is who wins the first time on that map. Who wins this hardpoint might dictate who wins the S&D, because PTSD is something I make use of, or just sort of what's it called, deja vu. Some of those sort of situations come into effect and at times. Same with this control raid. If we do see extension all the way down to the S&D raid, maybe the team who won the control raid, some of their presence and some of that, dominance is felt and scares off, the opponents in that S&D raid. So that's another thing that could potentially come to light. Now, we're going to try to jump into this action as soon as possible. And man, Oh man, does it suck that we can't have Nico in here with audio. I really wish I could hear his voice, you know, hear what he has to offer, and you know what he wants to say. If he can hear me through the stream though, it'd be cool if he can answer you guys' questions and you know interact with you guys in the stream as well through the chat there. But we are gonna jump into this action for you folks here. Just obviously wanted to give you guys a little bit of light into the action that is to come between these two. And you know, I talk about it, you know, I've talked about it before, you know, teams like the side of NeX Gaming, who are in this really rough position of being at the bottom of the table. They only have one win, and you know they have 5 losses. They need to get on this board early, and they need to find some way to continue that momentum coming off their win last week on stream. And you know, it all comes down to what they can put on the table to start off this you know this series. You know, first map, get those jitters out. And we're going to look to jump into the action on this first map as well. And let's see if we can jump on with these teams here, as we're going to see ourselves with NeX Gaming on the right and Team KGK on the left. And while my Discord still seems to have issues, we'll continue to roll here. And I'll give you guys some solo commentary for now, and as we'll try to, you know, work on these fixing this technical difficulty, you know, going into the next map of this series. Now, Team KGK, they're off to a good start. They have spawn sides controlled for P2, while also managing to grab early time on P1. The multitasking is coming through to full effect, and you know, looking like a different team so far in this one, showing up with some, you know, strong presence early. They had a very rough, extremely rough week last week, guys, dropping both of their matches, the off-stream and the on-stream matches. So they had an 0-2 week. That's why you see them in the 3-3 instead of, you know, having spiced up or grew the 3-1 they went to the week with. And NeX Gaming actually on the board with their first ever win in the league, and thanks to some really extremely awesome performance out of Fierce. He was a newcomer, new signing to the team, alongside Hank, after the roster locks came through on the weekend before. And he dropped an amazing KD across, you know, the 3 maps they played, and the 3 different modes, being an absolutely instrumental, you know, being an absolutely instrumental player for the team. And you know, he's also showing up well in this one as well. 3 and 4 showing up decently. And over on the side of Team KGK, though, their slaying department has been, you know, performing very well here, and extremely well. It's just they just haven't been able to grab onto the hill or touch it for long. Now, Fierce in that, he's also in that 4-player voting here for player of the week from last week. And if you guys haven't already dropped your votes on those players, I suggest you guys do so. There's still, I believe, since I last checked a few minutes ago, there's still 5 hours left for that voting before we crown the player of the week. And it's gonna be a fierce fight. You know, Fierce is in there alongside, you know, the likes of 47 from Team Flawless, the likes of Hope from Zealous Squad, and also Faith from Dawn of Chaos, one of the 3 players that debuted on that roster with the team in their new spot in the league. Now, NeX Gaming, they're really close here, and they're above their opponents here, the side of Team KGK. And well, the slaying power just doesn't seem to be enough for the side of Team KGK so far, as they find themselves a little bit behind. But slowly but surely, the pace is going to get picked up when it comes to actual objective points and time by KGK, as they keep up this momentum through their kills. And there you go, you see the lead change come through. And the side of KGK, they're looking good. They're looking fine. NeX Gaming.
Oh,
Here we go.
I'm back.
Here we go. Nico
Wow.
is in the building, folks.
Finally.
Nico, tell us how you're feeling, my dude, and how excited you are for today.
Boy, to be quite honest with you, just not a great start, not a great start to the stream. But the very least, I'm back. You know, well, we haven't hit the 100-point club, so I'm not too far behind. Looking pretty good. You know, I haven't really been seeing the way that these players have been playing, and some new names, of course, that I haven't quite seen yet. Smurferay, quite an interesting name. Oh, man, these names. The one scary thing about being a caster is, you know, butchering these names, but. These teams seem to be playing pretty decently. Only a 40-point lead now, 50 with a main control over on one player having this main control, but they're finally going to pitch off. And boy, am I getting some Discord, some chalk Discord today, buddy. It's not looking good.
Yeah, I heard you getting starting talking to you for not making that bet of yours, huh? Earlier, I'm kidding. But man, NeX Gaming, they had a lead at one point in this series, but you know, like I was talking about before you chimed in here, the slaying power has just always been in Team KGK's favor throughout this map. You know, maybe the points weren't at one point, but now after the slaying power has solidified them, you know, atop the lobby, and you know, has just given so much spawn time for NeX Gaming. It's allowed Team KGK to just grab a lot more real estate on this map, and obviously it's gonna end up bleeding out into obviously more points on the objective time. As there you go, a full team wipe comes in, all those players sent back to the spawn, and Team KGK, they're looking very comfortable, and it's starting to look like what we were expecting going into this series. We were, you know, expecting, based off of the Twitter poll I had earlier, that the side of Team KGK, you know, there was about I think it was like a whopping 85% votes for them over the side of NeX Gaming, and well, it's showing up big time right here. The presence they have all across the map. You know, Smurfry can streak, stay chill. He's at top form here. He's showing up like the stay chill of old here that we saw at the beginning of this league, Nico, as he's right now just popping off 21 and 8. The man, he has streaks as well to work with. This is absolutely beautiful work from Team KGK.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's right now working towards his cruise missile, and I think one of the strongest points on the side of Team KGK is their defense. You know, they're able to get that early rotation and just perfectly, you know, play this defense, keeping these players back as far as they possibly can. But and as I say that, you know, one's going to get cut down, and NeX Gaming are going to take control of this map. The sentries, the trophy systems are going to be there to be able to take out the other ones. And Stay Chill out of 22 and 9, I believe he got those streaks. I'm not sure if he got that cruise missile. I believe he didn't, but he still has some utility to work with now for his team. Hitting the 200-point club now with 20 seconds left. The scrap time seemingly going in their favor, but the contest is going to be here. It just seems like a few of these players are going to start to look to rotate and maybe close it out here. You know, Team KGK have the potential to win this next hill if they play it perfectly. And so far, they've been playing a pretty solid hardpoint game, you know. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to get a lot of control over the rotations, but still, they have a lot of slaying power with Nick. 24 and 9 with a minute on the hardpoint. They really just came out with the fire, the electricity to be able to just dominate them. I mean, it's not even slaying, it's not even diva, it's everything. Every element that is needed to win a hardpoint is just there for KGK.
Yeah, they're getting away with murder at times as well. Just they're taking down all these players off the map. The real estate just becomes, you know, it's just given up for free, and these points are just continuing to bleed the way of Team KGK and NeX Gaming. They're just trying. They're clawing tooth and nail to try to salvage something on these hills. They grab the crumbs from these Girl Guide cookies, it's what it seems like. And you know, sure, Hank can grab a kill there. He gets maybe another one, but shaky shots are coming through. There's potential element of nerve still with this roster. A few of their players still new to the ALG scene, the ALG streams, and Fierce and Hank. I know I talked a little bit with Fierce. You know, he's still one of those nervy players, you know, where he got some high praise given to him after last week's performance, but, you know, it might not have been, you know, it might not have been the thing he really wanted, you know, putting like that much spotlight on him. But he definitely can perform well for this roster. He's going 20 in 20 in this shellacking looking hardpoint to start this series. And well, Team KGK, they've just had NeX Gaming's number from the start, and they've came out hotter than we I've seen them in the past, and this is the KGK that, you know, I feel like we really needed to see the last week and the week before, and I'm just glad we're finally seeing them now, because damn, the second half of this season is just around the corner. Team KGK, they end up turning the corner here, turning the page on this map and win it 250 to 140. Nico, it something that we both probably would have expected. I think you would have probably predicted this if we were hearing you beforehand. But now you're back here. We got ourselves a checkmate search and destroy on the cards for the next map. Now, that's going to be an interesting one for us to both obviously take a gander at with these teams playing. What are your thoughts on, you know, checkmate search and destroy, and maybe what NeX Gaming kind of have to do to bounce back against the Kingsland Killers?
That's, you know, that's a tough one, especially with Nick and Stay Chill. I mean, sure, they had quite the amount of engagements, but they just simply weren't dying all that much, you know, in comparison to NeX Gaming. And I think one of the biggest things that they're going to have to really work on is play more patiently and to feel the pacing out of the other team. You know, KGK, they need to keep the aggression going, but NeX really need to try their best to control the pacing of the map, control the pacing of the rotations the best that they can, and securing those first bloods. Of course, that's a key to victory for just about every team, securing those first bloods. But I think they really need to play as a team, because if you let players like Nick and Stay Chill just go off on the map, you know, you're going to be in serious trouble. It's and especially like a map like Checkmate, because most times, you know, that center, that plane, that middle bit bomb plane, you know, throwing your SMGs up there, it's a tough gunfight to win sometimes, you know, and you don't want players with the buttery knees movements hopping in that plane and just dominating the everything, you know. And KGK played very, very well, you know, considering, you know, they're 3-3 and 1-5 next. It's a bit, I wouldn't say mismatched, but I definitely think there's potential for NeX Gaming to really show up in the search and destroy.
Yeah, I'm just taking a gander, looking back at the you know, the map sets last week and from both these teams, and we did see a double control to start off the series. KGK lost 3-0 to Zealous last time around, and the search and destroy ended up being a 6-3. So there was a bit of a fight put up in that one. It wasn't a complete walk like that Hardpoint was when they played them. It was 250 to 18. I remember. So they did show up a bit better, a lot better in the search and destroy. Now looking over at the side of NeX Gaming, you know, they didn't play the checkmate Hardpoint last series, you know, on stream against Velis. Instead, they played, you know, they played, I think, Raid, and but they did play the search and destroy checkmate and come out with a win on that one. So, you know, looking at this, you know, coming off of the last week's stats, and you know, maybe you take a look and you maybe favor the side of you know, NeX Gaming, seeing as they've come off a recent stream win on this map mode combination. So it's going to be interesting to see. You know, there's a little bit of stats that can back a bit of, you know, support towards NeX Gaming in this pick on this next map. But when it comes to KGK, they showed up big time right there, and one of the biggest problems for any team when they're facing KGK, you know, a problem that wasn't there in their matchup last week, and it was Stay Chill. You know, Stay Chill, he's sort of like the Insanity on Hi-Fi, where that player is known to pop off. If he is not contained, if he's not slowed down and cooled off, then problems just continue to pop up and they could become too overwhelming. Now, you saw in that first map, you know, him and Nick combined for like a very strong and very large amount of kills, potentially something that rivaled maybe me saying they had a combined total of kills that were maybe 3/4 of the amount of kills that we saw from the side of NeX in that first opening hardpoint. Now, going into the S&D, what's something, you know, when you look at tempo and search and destroy, you know, should we see this out of NeX Gaming go into the next one and maybe try to slow things down? Maybe KGK looked like they play really well in a fast tempo manner, and so maybe the slowdown might help NeX. You know, what do you got when it comes to tempo?
Oh man, I feel like NeX really have to rely on a very slow paced game, because I feel like, you know, just jumping corners, challenge everything, you're most likely going to lose, especially with how hot they are on that hard point. And one thing that we've seen is that players can go on a tear in the hard point and they just don't adapt to the change in pace and the search and destroy, and then they get spit on. So I think next game's main priority should be to hold these angles, find ways that you can catch enemies, from the back, on the sides, these flanks. You don't want to go head to head chow with players like Nick and Stay Chill. But as we get loaded here now, sitting at a nice 1-0 advantage, KGK looking to make it a 2-0. Next Gaming looking to tie it up. We have about a 1 QBZ presence over on the side of Next Gaming. New meta, interesting.
Yeah, it's a new gun that's being put to use here by Fierce on this long angle. He's not going to spot anybody because it looks like this split up that we see from Team KGK is just going to be towards A and B here. Nobody's going to be playing that outer line on the right side where Fierce is over by pallets. And the first blood will come through for Team KGK Stay Chill. Already on the board early, but Evo will get a quick trade back on there. So he will make things a 3 versus 3. Smurfry, he's going to be close on this wing on the right side here from the KGK perspective. But Fierce in the back with that QBZ, he's going to be able to get a bunch of damage into him. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get the final killing blow off. But with some kills over here by Obey, might even get to spot the head of Nick while he's looking to plant the bomb. He will not kill him. Nick will be able to sneak away like a slippery snake, like Orochimaru. He will be able to play and continue to stay alive. Smurfry gonna have to try to get something to go his way on the bottom of the plane for that real estate. Or now Nick is left in the 1 versus 3. He will find one. He won't be able to flick and kill Fierce. Fierce will be able to take him down. The Obey will get the defuse, or maybe send it over to Fierce. Yeah, he's just gonna pass it over to his buddy. Say, here you go. You can do the equation on the calculator for me. And there you go. Next Gaming get the first opening round on this S&D on the board for themselves. And this is exactly what you need to see. If you're Next Gaming coming off of that first map loss, you need to get on the board early. You need to see some momentum come your way. And that's exactly what they're going to get.
Yeah, I mean, I think the pressure is up now, and even in the CDL and even in this league, we've seen teams go up 2 and then, it just a complete turnaround where the other team just wins 6 straight and, take the map too. That's not what you want to happen for Next Gaming. You want to keep your foot on the gas and not let up for a moment. But at the same time, you don't want to go a little too fast, because that's when you start to lose control of this 4-wheel car. And right now, every player seems to be doing their job, and being able to secure the kills. The trades are coming in, but Next Gaming at a disadvantage at a 1 life. Stay Chill is going to lose the gunfight. Fierce is going to lose his, and Team KGK are going to make it a quick round of just kills back and forth. But eventually, they're going to come out on top to make it a 1-1.
Yeah, that's that problem that I was making, topic around, making discussion around earlier, and before this map, and that's just KGK and what kind of a problem they are when it comes to fast-paced action. And if you make the round fast and you don't slow down this side of Team KGK, you're just gonna get burned here in this search and destroy, like what Next Gaming had to feel in that first opening map of the series. And things are tied up 1-1. Next Gaming, they can't breathe, sighs of relief quite yet, but Obey's first blood is gonna, allow the Sharks to at least sniff something out on the side of Next Gaming. Maybe add some extra pressure and solidity over near E here, but it's going to be interesting right now. It looking like if all the players from the side of Team KGK hit this B bomb site, it'll be a 3 versus 2. And there will be favor going the way of Team KGK, and nobody shoots back. It's a 2-kill spree. We see Hilarity get on this one, and he's going to get himself another. That's 3 kills on the round, and Hilarity going to clean up every player on the map for Team KGK, putting themselves up 2-1. This is an ace. This is just... they line up right...
Oh boy.
What is...
This could be the beginning of the momentum swing for KGK, As we've seen, a team will win 1-2 rounds, and then the opposite team kind of finds their footing. And then the momentum is just absolutely flipped like a switch. Clarity at a 5-1 now on a 5 spree, looking to work towards his streaks, maybe gain some more utility for his team. I mean, that was just beautifully played. A nice ace. It was a quick round. You could tell there was just absolutely no fear in him after those first 2 kills, and just the pressure. That's exactly what Next Gaming need to be able to to some way or some extent, you know, cover up and suppress, because a team like KGK, when they get going, it's really hard to get them to stop. But the trades are going to come in now, 3 versus 3. NeX Gaming are going to get the first blood, but it doesn't really matter, you know, with those trades coming in. And right now, players are starting to play a little more patiently now with their teammates dropping, a little scared to kind of peek out a little bit. But as I say that, NeX Gaming are going to be able to take up the one-man advantage. Nick trying his best to make a pick over at A long bomb site. And the bomb is still down up on the top plane. They need to be able to work that plant.
Yeah, the B bomb site's gonna be pretty free, freer than a sample at Costco, and well, Hilarity will sample some of the bullets from Fierce and unfortunately not enjoy it whatsoever. Probably spit it back in his face, but he's gonna have to wait for another round to do so. As Nick's gonna get that 1 versus 3 to go and turn into a 1 versus 2, but NeX Gaming, they will win this one with a nice predictive play over on that wing to watch for the wraparound. And well, that's a round that NeX Gaming definitely need to see get on the page, get on the books early, so that they could stop the side of Team KGK from ballooning a lead, or at least getting one that's about two rounds up. Because the more of a lead they start to get, the more we see this side of Team NeX Gaming, this I want to say inexperienced side start to maybe falter through that inexperience, you know, of having to try to come back from loss and being down with those newer players, the younger players, and Fierce and Hank, I believe. Team KGK, just a very smart team. They're used to, you know, having to come behind and being behind, and right now they find themselves at even 3-3 on players on the map here. Smurferi going to be up nice and close with the bomb, and near the bomb, Hank will find a kill onto Clarity, take down the demon on the side of Team KGK, but Nick, another demon for the side of Team KGK, not so much the demon on this map thus far, as Clarity showed up big time. He's going to be in this 2 versus 2 alongside Smurferi. Obey gets tagged up a lot, but Fierce is there for the trade. He will take down Nick, and Smurferi having to do all these, having to do everything on his own here to close things out. Nick, he dies off, and you know, Nico, this 1 versus 2 long range gunfights, getting pinned in that corner, just not gonna go the way of Team KGK.
Yeah, I mean, this is the perfect opportunity NeX Gaming need in order to kind of put a stop to that, the little bit of momentum that KGK were building, you know, especially with that ace in the 3rd round. It can get really scary, because you know, they win 1 round, and then they win the next, and then they win the next, and then you kind of start to lose the morality in it, and it starts to become a little scary, you know, especially in the CDL. I can't imagine what that's like, going up 2-0 and then losing 6 straight. Definitely not going to be the kind of confidence that you'd like to have going into the control map. But NeX Gaming trying their hardest to really stay in this one and stay chill, is going to be able to get the first blood. KGK now up 1-man advantage. Stay chill, just chilling out at the underbelly of the plane, looking to make a pig patiently. The patience on this map can really pay off if you really just stick to a lane and hold it for the entirety of the round. And
Hank's doing a nice Celium impression right here. It just seems like a little play we'd see out of him, just lying down on his belly like a king cobra. He's waiting to pounce. Snakes on a plane, my dude. Snakes on a plane. It's Hank. He's gonna decide to get up here onto the desk like a student giving a temper tantrum at his classroom, and Evo will go out here and find himself a kill onto Stay Chill, keeping him quiet, still, not as loud as what we've seen him, you know, in maps prior. Smurferi will drop, and this is a well-exploited defensive hold and gap we see in the middle of the plane. Nick gonna maybe be good for 3. That would have been absolutely spicy, like my Osmos I had tonight. But man, 4-2 scoreline. We see NeX Gaming. They're bringing it back here. They're maybe getting us that map 4 if they close out this map 2 and tie things up 1-1, Nico.
Yeah, I mean, they've definitely turned it around. They had a very strong start on the first map. You know, it was pretty methodical. It wasn't anything too insane. You know, the pop-ups weren't really there. And then KGK had a few to answer back with, and NeX Gaming now being able to find their footing back into this map 2. And Smurferi sitting out on 1-5, the underwhelming player of KGK, and and Hanks, 2-6, not horrible, but they're making it work. They're up 2 rounds, not a whole lot to really sweat over. You're up 2 rounds, you're nice and you're a little cozy. You can't get too comfortable till the job's done, but right now you can tell that these players are playing very passively, refusing to give up the first blood to either one of the teams, knowing that that disadvantage is only going to apply more pressure and could possibly increase the disparity between these two teams, making it a lot harder. And the stuns are going to come out, the ordinances, trying to do the best they can to fish out any players. And right now, these players seem scared of each other, or they just like to play the patient fishing game, waiting for the players and the bomb players. Bomb's going to be spotted out in the middle lane. The call's going to be there. And the players are starting to rotate, starting to move. You can see the little arrows shifting around, trying to make something happen, and nobody's going to lose their life just yet.
No, the passive play by NeX Gaming just to keep these guys distracted and entertained at this B bomb site has been really good at soaking up time and not allowing for that plant to come through. Hank, the guy who was going 2-6, is now 4-6 after he gets himself 2 massive kills. This is a 2 versus 2 now. Number 8 and 2 battling it out over here. Nick will end up being able to take down Obey. Now the bomb planter will get dropped as well. This is a walk-off that Nick needs to get over to that bomb site, and he's not going to be able to get there. He needed to sprint like Usain Bolt, and unfortunately he ends up not being able to get there in time. The clock ends up being the best friend in that round for NeX Gaming as they take a lead. They don't just take a lead, they extend their lead. My apologies, 5-3, 5-2. My math and my calling right now is just not up to par. But Nico, 5-2 lead for NeX Gaming. It's looking like
pretty solid.
Looking pretty solid. Definitely what we need to see out of them for them to give us something to obviously look forward to in potentially seeing them take this series.
Yeah, I mean, that's the pacing issue that I was mentioning before the start of this match. Waiting for KGK to make the first move. They were just draining the clock. They're already 2 rounds up. KGK are a little timid, trying to play patiently, and the bomb was just kind of sitting idly in the top lane. And NeX Gaming were able to extend their lead further, and now even in this game point match, it's a 1 versus 2. Fierce left all alone. He's gonna get tagged up. They know exactly where he is, but he's got an idea where these two players are, and they're coming in. He's gonna come for the challenge, and oh my goodness, he's gonna fight, but he's he gets a shot punch. He gets a shot punch.
No!
Wing.
He did the dirty! He did the dirty! The man's a menace! The butter knees! The dip, duck, and dodging. Look how much life he has! The missed melee! Punching at air!
Yeah.
Oh my lord! Oh my lord! What an ending right there! Woo-hoo! Looking like a wide receiver and the greatest boxer of all time, Muhammad Ali, all in one. The package was put in front of us, and we opened that shit up and found a fucking surprise, and that was that play right there from NeX Gaming's star that ended up taking that 1 versus 2. Oh my god, he got away with, man, he robbed that round away from them. Holy.
I thought for sure he was going to get taken down. He just maneuvered in and out, jumping across from back and forth to side, maneuvering his way. He had 2 HP. He had 2 HP when he went for that second chow. 2 HP, and he didn't get touched once. The butter knees served him well. The margarine knees, I gotta say, that was slippery.
The margarine knees.
Greasy boy.
Oh my man.
The shot punch to close out the match point.
It's crazy. Like, both players had practically no ammo left in their guns. That's why they were he used his last bullet to get a sliver of a tag onto the last player on Team KGK. Man, they've got to be kicking themselves. They had another round they could have played that could have extended that map, and oh boy, the unfortunate scenes there for Team KGKs. They're gonna drop a map to NeX, and great stuff out of NeX as well. Being near the bottom of the table, being able to take maps where you can off of series, that's a small victory that really could mean a lot down the line. And the same goes for KGK. I can't not say the same thing for them, because they are contesting in that middle of the pack on that Group B for that top 4 spot. Every map counts, guys. I can't stress it enough. If your team can steal a map win, even though you lose the series, it can in the end make a big difference. you know, in ties that might come up, you know, with records down the line, especially in that incredibly hot and heavy and in competitive Group A right now. As we're gonna try to get things going, folks, but we're gonna have to take a little break before this control. It's gonna be on raid, so when we come back, you know, me and Nico will be here, and you know, not as not as absolutely you know, flabbergasted as some of those KGK fans. We'll obviously be really chill. We'll be staying chill going into this next map, and when we come back from the break, guys, just enjoy yourselves in your couches. Don't really go anywhere, folks, because we'll be right back shortly. Okay. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here, and Team KGK, guys, if you guys didn't notice already, they dropped that Search and Destroy. But they were able to win a really strong and very convincing respawn to start things off on this series. They with the first opening, you know, Hardpoint on checkmate. So now we're on a new respawn game type. This one's control this time around instead of Hardpoint, and we're on to a new map as well. This is going to be raid. Now, Nico, Team KGK off to a flying start here, getting some really big kills on the board, getting themselves that life lead, and obviously getting a ton of attention over to B. It's looking good off the break for KGK. They've nearly successfully took B, but what a fast-paced start, and that pacing is now becoming an issue once again for NeX Gaming here, as Team KGK pulling them all the way over to A, all around the map, really, quite frankly.
Boy, that's just an electric way to start off. You know, you get the guaranteed 2-tick progress, and I love this play that they're doing. They throw 2 onto the site, and then they have 2 play on the outer side of that site just for the further defense. They get the call. The players that are on site are ready for the defense. And, you know, 2 ticks are guaranteed regardless based on, you know, just how it is. And just already from the nice start that KGK had going into this, that they need just 1 tick left with over 2 minutes.
And 2 players stack the point, left to 1 right here. Smurferai, if he gets taken down here, then obviously they're gonna stop this, but he's gonna get a big kill. Stay Chill combines for 2 right there himself, and big opening round from Team KGK. Just as crazy of an ending in that S&D. You know, we saw a pretty choked up round that KGK lost, and you know, next game we were able to steal off of some very inventive maneuvering and gun skill and melee skill from NeX Gaming in the closings of the S&D. But this time around, we see the bounce back, the icing coming in from Team KGK on that momentum with the first round on the board. But things flip around, and we're gonna see defense for Team KGK and NeX Gaming on that offense. But man, what a way to really open the door with a giant boot Team KGK did on this map here in mode.
Oh yeah, and NeX Gaming trying to make an impressive showing on their offense as they try to work this A site, but boy, Team KGK proving that their respawns are just a lot stronger, seemingly, than the NeX Gaming. You know, maybe Search and Destroy could be their only their only good map. You know, regardless, one tick has been worked on already, but NeX Gaming already down about 3-4 lives as we speak. It's gonna change as the games continue to go on, but 3 already go down. Team KGK are at a very nice advantage. Certainly, NeX Gaming did
And the
not.
coach Smurferi on 7 right now, 8-1.
Wow,
Guys,
that's
there's a reason why people say Goach for this man, and it's because he's, bro, the man's goated. He's on a 7 streak. You know, I've talked to him in the past. He doesn't even want to play anymore. He wants to find a better player for the team, but the man still does this. You know, keep that controller in your hands, my son. You got this. You're powerful, and man, do I have a pleasure of casting over your action and what you can bring to the table here. But NeX Gaming, oh boy, just all sorts of struggle bus problems happening, and Fierce in the back just not looking as fierce as he's looked in the past. You know, 3-3, quite quiet, and obviously, you know, looking decent with the KD, but, you know, playing your KD probably not the smartest situation in this moment. I'm not saying he is, but, you know, looking at an even KD with probably less, there definitely has to be, like, a lot less engagements on the board as well, and the engagements are where you're going to need to see NeX Gaming kind of get themselves into, and the engagement they have with B is going to be good for a big cap. This is going to extend the time, and with only 1 tick being needed at A, we're seeing NeX Gaming turn things around big time. It says 17 lives to 16, make that 16 to 16. As things are, a corner is being turned, a page is being turned, a chapter is being turned on this map in NeX Gaming. They're looking like they can close out a round for themselves, be able to tie things up with offensive round to offensive round, Nico.
Yeah, I mean, certainly not as fast and aggressive as Team KGK's offense, but still, nonetheless, NeX Gaming are making it happen. You know, they have 1 tick left. They started it with about 95 seconds, and, you know, they're going to get that zone captured. It's up to a 1-to-1 offense, looking like the strong map for these two players. And, you know, it's really going to be down to who just has a better defense. And if we see a round 5, it's going to come down to those kills and those deaths. That's ultimately going to decide which team is going to defend and which team is going to have the offense, which could very well be the deciding factor of who's going to take this control map. But right now, this game is still very much in the air, as we've seen just electricity from both teams. And we might be seeing a similar game plan with the 2 on and 2 around a site over for the side of KGK, and they look to be working this A site first, with Smurferi being able to win his first gunfight, the crucial one down the middle lane, to possibly make an opening, a pushback from those players as best they can. A streak's seemingly going to be invested, but there seems to be some hesitation around. But 2 ticks
Fierce on a 6 streak as well here. That's got to be where he's got that streak from here, and he's just around the corner. It's going to be Smurferi, one of the dangerous players on the side of Team KGK, and there we go. The 2nd streak comes in for him. That's going to be a cruise missile he's able to feast on and maybe even find some kills with, as you know, with streaks on the board, you know, that's one big, you know, asset to help control tempo at times in the map. Is right now we're seeing a fast-paced play come out of Team KGK. They're able to take that first, you know, point, the A point here. Different sort of pattern, you know, and priority on the points in this one. They play call to take A over B first, and now with B left on the table, it's going to be interesting to see if you know, they're able to hold, the defense is able to hold, because you know, the way we saw both those offensive rounds won, you know, streaks being called in here. We'll see if they end up being able to grab any kills. Looks like those might have been some from Team KGK that were invested here, and they don't end up, you know, delivering on any fruits. Smurferi on the point, very weak here. He's gonna get challenged here by Obey, but Obey gets cut down by Clarity. 1 tick of progress will be good on B point for KGK, and more streaks being used here will maybe take down some of these players on the side of Team KGK, but they decide to slow down and slow their push in from water. In Mansion here, Evo gonna be the player in Volcourt here, going to be good for 1 kill. He's going to look to take down some of these trophies as well. This is really well played defense from NeX Gaming. The lives are becoming a potential issue in the background, though. We have to keep that on top of our heads here. But NeX Gaming, like what I was saying before, this is a lot more doable position for the defense in the, the endings of this map, as both the first 2 rounds that were won by the offensive side, they capped B first. That's that one important thing there, is they capped B first. Streaks are going to be good to try to hold these players in Tiki and money. Obey is going to be good for a big kill there. Stay Chill will take him down. The stack up on B is good, but will they be able to grab the full cap? They won't, as the lives are in favor of Team KGK still, NeX Gaming. Their defense is going to have to be able to combine for a bunch of kills here on this point, and they're going to have to be fast. They're going to have to act fast here, as Evo, he's going to get cut down. The tags, oh my, the wall is going to stop Hank from being able to get on. Oh my. The offense will win another round, and this time it's KGK coming out with the sliver right there. The contest time was on, the contest potential was there. Just, he had to avoid the lip of that door. I don't know what possessed him to hit it, but man, accidents, they can be brutal and unforgiving.
Boy, I mean, that was right now the offense proving to be the side to win it. And if this is going to be anything like we just saw in those last 3 rounds, NeX Gaming's going to win this, and then it's just going to be up to kills and deaths. So right now, these players really need to be thinking about how many engagements that they choose to make and how many lives that they're willing to risk. And look at this play. That deep flank around the back. I mean, they're investing 2 players to go all the way around to make this deep flank. And right now, 2 players are going to drop, seemingly going to work out for them. Trying to work this A site now. 1 tick's only going to be the guaranteed tick to come through. And, still a minute to work with. And it's just kind of been a little back and forth. This round seems to be a little sloppier than the other ones, just a bit more spread out. But the lives right now in favor of Team KGK with about a 4-3, and Smurferite trying to do the best he can with that AK. 47 up top bedroom, gonna pick up 1. That's gonna be huge. Those shots shooting straight, it's got to do wonders for your confidence. You don't need an AR to be able to hit those long distance shots.
Oh, Obey pops up like a whack-a-mole, and instead of being whacked, he does the whacking himself, taking down.
And there's 3.
And that's going to be all she wrote on that A point, as NeX Gaming, off of, I believe, 1 just really well played hit and 2 big kills coming off of Obey, they're able to close out that hill, and net themselves a minute and 50 to work with on the next. As attention is going to be put on it by Evo, he's all alone. They're going to get cut down by 2 players. We're going to start to see that wrap coming through from number 3 that we saw so long and so devastating earlier. He's going to be good for 2 kills in Mansion area as Smurfry. He's heating up once again on a 5 streak. He's going to have a cruise missile in his back pocket to still use later on, or maybe we might see him use it on this map. As NeX Gaming, they're finding themselves with a massive hole that they have to try to work with here when it comes to a life disparity. And with B point last to pick up for them, this is just absolutely dire. NeX Gaming in a rough situation, having a rough time, trying to find some sort of solution, some way to kind of counter what's been going on so far by Team KGK, and everything's just been going blue. Smurfry, his streak goes away, but he's able to start a new one here. And with those spawn outs for NeX Gaming, and only 2 lives remaining, it's got to be it, Nico. 1 player left. Fierce gonna get dropped in that pillar's spot, and 3-1. This control ends in favor of Team KGK, and boy, the respawn, that's just something NeX Gaming needs to work a ton on, and they gotta find a way to find some sort of solution for the respawn woes quickly, because they have 1 more coming up next. This could be the the ender on this series for them as well if they do drop it. But there's got to be a little bit of there's got to be a little bit of positivity we can still kind of give them off of their point play in the first Hardpoint was really good. the way they were able to rotate, the way they were playing that objective, they just need to find their guns to heat up and just really find some sort of accuracy when it came to winning their ones and twos. Now, going into the next map, Nico, I believe it's going to be a Moscow, if I'm correct here. I'm just going to throw up the maps for you folks to also witness and update yourselves on here, as it will be a Moscow for this hardpoint coming up. And what do you think about Moscow hardpoint? Do you think this is a better map, maybe better suited for the side of NeX Gaming with how they're performing with their ARs, since it's an AR dependent, very AR focused map? Or do you feel like this is this map's not really gonna fit, not really looking like it's favoring them? It's looking like they're gonna be down for the count on this one.
Boy, personally, I think it's gonna be a lot less about the map and more about the adaptation that these players have put up. And as we just saw, KGK were able to very well adapt to the defensive role that was very much needed to close out that round and not bring it to a round 5, because that was the first defensive round that either side had won. The offense has just been the favorable side to win, to play for, and the defense, they really stepped up. The ACAP was there. They had about 2 minutes to get that hill time, and they really turned their slaying power up. They turned the jet engines up. They adapted to the defensive roles, and they played a little more up close and personal. And I feel like Moscow, with the ARs, it's very hard to say. I feel like if we see 2 QBZs for NeX Gaming, it's going to be a close one. But KGK proving that they have the slaying power and they have the adaptability to be able to really dig their heels into the ground and stand their own against a team like NeX Gaming. So, and in my personal opinion, I see KGK running away with this one. They proved that their hard point on checkmate and their control on raid, just their slaying power is there. They're in that aspect, they're the more dominant team. But and search and destroy, that more methodical, slow paced, tempo, as you mentioned. And NeX Gaming certainly have that. But NeX Gaming, you play an S&D on raid and you've got some hope. But you just got to come out with this hard point, and maybe you get to see the light of day of a game 5 and potentially come out with a series win. But only time will tell for that.
You gotta, if you're NeX Gaming, you gotta find Harry Potter's cloak of invisibility and escape death somehow here in this hard point. As they've been in just they're in a rough spot right here, and even rougher in the game mode they have to play on. And there's some machine gun players have been doing well, but with Fierce's performance so far with that AR, that in this map being an AR heavy map where the ARs are meant to be the most impactful, I'm really expecting him to do a lot for his team. And I'm not quite sure if he's going to be up for the task and be able to produce the results. But here we go, first kill on the board for him. Make that 2. He takes down Clarity in a 2-piece right there. He opens things up for a 1-on-1 for Hank to have to close out. He can't, onto Smurferi. And unfortunately, we're seeing that first push on into the hill stopped by NeX Gaming for a moment's time. But Evo will get on for that scrap time. And well, 30 seconds of scrap time is a lot of scrap time here. As number 3, that's Smurferi. He's going to be living large once again. He's going to come in from Eskies, but Evo, he's here for the taking here. He's going to be able to get that good trade to go his way. But now with this presence over on street, this wraparound, this is all the eggs in one basket here. And they need to make it into these spawns quickly, or else they're most likely not going to have some way, shape, or form to fight it out on this next hill. Because just money is what this next hill is once you have spawns for it. Obey, staying alive here. And he will end up dropping, but he does get a spawn for Evo in the back, and that might be good for some good disruption right here.
Wow.
He will find one big kill. Will he take down Clarity? Ooh. No. He entertains him for the time being, as Hank will get up on the hill. We will see Obey also play up close and personal to Laundry, but with Hank on that hill continuing to stop these players and some split spawns coming in, there is opportunity for NeX Gaming to continue to throw wrenches in the plans for Team KGK with that P2 hill. The money just wasn't there enough in the first openings of it, but with all this scrap time to go the way of Team KGK, a number 4 on this rotation, if Clarity wins this gunfight in the back, you gotta feel good for Team KGK. He unfortunately drops away, and NeX Gaming, they have a prime opportunity to make the next hill theirs, and to get a bunch of points off of it, initial and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, boy, the rotations have just simply been there, you know, with Next Gaming being able to get the early rotations on. And, you know, this is what we talked about. Nick, it being 7-4 now, being up high in kills, 45 seconds, nearly a minute on the hardpoint. A team kill is going to come in for KGK. And, boy, you know, 20-second point disparity left to be worked with, but Next Gaming seemingly holding their own against the stalemate. You know, players just keep falling on and off the hard point, and players right now are trying the best that they possibly can to secure as many points as they possibly can to put them up just a bit over the team. But Next Gaming seemingly they don't have a whole lot of players. You know, Fierce doesn't have any time on the hill. Hank only has 10 seconds with, you know, 1 and 7. Not great. You know, not great when it comes to teamwork, but KGK trying. You know, they're really trying to work with what they have now. Nick 9 and 6 now. The rotation's gonna come in. Stay chill, trying to you know, set up for the positioning for his buddy Nick there. And Next Gaming are gonna be able to take it. They have this main street control. Team KGK coming in through the middle, and boy, it's looking still pretty even game. 26 points just about, making it the lead change. Oh my goodness, the kills are coming in. Two-piece nice for Team KGK coming in, and they're going to be able to swarm the hill. 30 seconds now left on this hill. Ay. Obey. Going to be able to pick up a nice one.
Well, we did see Team KGK with a juicy lead, but this is too early on in the hard point for there to not to be a comeback come through from Next Gaming, and they do make their comeback come through here. They will get themselves in the lead with the scraps of this point, but you know, that P1, P2, that burned them a lot in that first rotation of hills, and Next Gaming, they're gonna have to, you know, surge through here, try to grab these spawns.
Can y'all put the game?
Oh my lord, I didn't...
Chase, I thought you were seeing all this, dude.
Oh my lord, I didn't even know. I'm too busy focused on the game, but yeah. Man, apologies everybody that couldn't see the game. I did not mean to do so. But 101.
Damn, dude.
Hey, at least we're still close in this hard point. There's still a lot more hard point to go in this one as we're on to the second rotation of hills. Hey, it's practically 0-0. We can all think it's 0-0, Chase. You know, they're really, you know, they're really just playing for 154 points, you know, from 0-0. So yeah, Nico, take it away.
Somebody requesting to speak to the manager. RIP the chat, about to implode. Manager, Mrs. Clarity. Yes, we
it's a delay on stream. Don't worry, Nico.
That's hilarious. Mistakes happen. You know, we get so consumed into these games, but hopefully maybe the commentary gives you some picture of what's been going on. But right now it's just been a nice even game with Next Gaming now taking the lead, 115 to 109. You know, the slaying is starting to come back. As I was talking about Hank having no time on the hill, he's nearly got a minute up, 6 and 11, double negative, but you know, it's still something to work with. You know, Nick 14 and 12, he started off very, very hot with little OBJ time being played onto this hill. Smurferi gonna get cut down. 26 seconds left on the point. KGK seemingly having most of the control with 3 players there. The last player of Next Gaming is going to drop, and KGK are going to secure that last 20 seconds of this hill time. Next Gaming looking to play the next hill rotation with Smurferi playing that middle of the map up close and personal, trying to get a nice pick over, which I think you should just rotate, go back with your team. He's only going to be able to pick up 1, and the trade's going to become there. And look at that Obey. He's going to get spawned in the back, all because Smurferi pushed up through the middle. And you know, there's this dangerous Smurferi and 2 players down this middle for Next Gaming. It really changes the pace. You know, Smurferi, he's separated from his team. It's a 3 versus 4. Next Gaming swarming now, 154 to 120 with 50 seconds left on this hard point.
Those split spawns got to be a little bit worrisome and troublesome for Team KGK here. As Smurferi left up alone here in the back, he won't be able to find one before getting taken down, and the split spawns end up getting, you know, split up, and they end up not being able to look for any clues. Instead, they just get taken down. Nick, though, he's going to be playing that long alley here and even look to go for a wrap. We saw the side of Team KGK utilize wraps time and time again in that control on raid, and they came out very successfully. They showed, you know, the fruits of the labor were definitely enjoyed and eaten and were pretty succulent. But Next Gaming here, they're going to start to rotate early for this next hill. And this hill, this was the hill that actually brought them level and above Team KGK in that first rotation of hills. And we're going to be back on here with initial time going KGK, or not going KGK, NeX Gaming. And, you know, they definitely have been earning it. Hank, though, not earning a lot of respect so far, with obviously only a 7 and 17. But looking over at Fierce, the man hasn't touched the hill, you know, at all. He's like a little kid not wanting to touch his vegetables at the dinner table, going 0 time for OBJ. 15 and 13 is looking good on him as well. Obey just leading the charge for his side, 17 and 14. And NeX Gaming, this is a lot closer and a lot better hardpoint than that first time around. They've come out hot. They've looked like they made an ability to adjust. They've put in some time to adjust, made some changes on how they're approaching it, and you know, they're looking like they're trying. And my golly, I'm feeling like they can earn that search and destroy here. They definitely can earn that search and destroy. Nico, we are seeing Team KGK though. They have a lead. They've been able to hold it. They're starting to aggress onto this point, and they're gonna have early time. The spawns are gonna be split, and Nico, when split spawns come in, they were a problem for Team KGK. They weren't able to solve, and here NeX Gaming is gonna have to deal with that with only one player in the back depot here to try to at least grab spawns for P2.
Oh yeah, and Team KGK nearly hitting that 200-point club with Stage Show out of 5 spree. Now, I think the best thing to do is just to not get too caught up with trying to throw as many players as you can and losing those lives, because the NeX Gaming is just going to run over you. You know, Team KGK, they have those clean breaks, but then they lose the defense, which is quite opposite of what happened in the first Hardpoint map. You know, they had the early rotations in the defense, and they were able to take off these players, you know, on the offense. But right now, NeX Gaming trying to play the contest. Hank's going to win his important gunfight. He's going to be able to get at least 9 seconds in the scrap time, but Team KGK are already on the rotation. 3 players now there. And Clarity trying to make his way over there now, but a kill is going to come in. Clarity in his favor. The lane has been open. He's going to get the next one. That lane has been open. 1 player left. Evo trying to make his way over there, but is he going to win it? He's going to be able to pick up 2 in that back lane. Clarity. Boy, that was a good play. And stay chill. Wow.
He made it to 10 on the background there, but Obey, he's going to get himself a 2-piece and help open this hill up for the side of NeX Gaming. And that big streak Stay Chill was able to get on, it's going to earn score streaks that are going to be able to be put into use here. They will not find a kill at all in Stay Chill. He's going to now aggress back onto this hill. They're going to try to stop NeX Gaming from grabbing any of this scrap time, but it looks like it will go their way. And they're going to grab every ounce of scrap time here with Hank in the back here, not performing the best. I think this is the right call here. Keep that player that's underperforming so far on this hill, on this map, and keep him in the back there to grab that scrap. With the player, though, coming in from the back, that Stay Chill, he's going to touch this point, and he's going to have some streaks to use to give his team information on where those players are. It looks like he won't be able to find anybody on the map here in Evo. He's going to be able to come out here with another teammate. Oh, no, you do not want that team kill to come through like that.
Boy.
Evo going to try to take down the player up here on the fountain. That's going to open up some space. He's going to have a teammate in behind. This is a point that's going to go pink. It's going to go red. NeX Gaming, they were looking next to dead at a moment in time in this one. They're down 241 going into this hill. This is their hold. They have to make to force that map 5 in this series. And they're on the cusp of getting it. The spawns, though, they're going to be going blue. 1 player left on the point. Obey. He's going to have to find a way to hide. Play his life here. He's going to duck and dodge here.
Oh, boy.
The NeX Gaming side, they're going to be pushing from the middle of the map. Is this good? They're going to have a player on the flank. This is not a lot of time to work with. He has to touch that hill. Nobody will get there in time for NeX Gaming. And Team KGK, they rip the last shred of hope out of the hearts of NeX Gaming, and they're now able to eat, and they're able to say they have gotten a map win on a series win on the board, and they've been able to finally get rid of that map drought they had from last week and start this one off on a great first step on stream with all of you folks here.
Boy,
what a series, Nico.
That second to last hill, man, was everything. You know, it's Stay Chill making the play call to rotate back around and chow for that last bit of scrap time, winning it, getting the last 6 seconds. You know, if they would have let go of that scrap time, it would have been an even game. You know, NeX would have been down 1 point, but that challenge for the scrap time, you know, that 6-7 seconds put them up 12 points. the difference between 1 point and 12 points was exactly all because of Stay Chill. They nearly let it slip up. Next were 11 points off, and they were growing. They had about a nice clean 25 to 30 point gain, and then the last few seconds of that hard point. But I think overall it was Stay Chill with that clutch play, getting the 10 piece too off that second to last hard point rotation. He chose to chow the scrap time, and he won it. That was huge. That to me was what won the last bit of that game, because I thought for sure they were just gonna toss it. I didn't see a whole lot. He was the only player that decided to chow it, and boy, you don't know if they're sending one guy to stay back or if they're sending one to play around, one middle. And he rolled the dice and it paid off for him. So a 3-1 victory for KGK. It's wow, looking great for them.
And one thing I gotta give them a lot of props for, and point out as potentially being one of their you know one of their best shining sort of qualities throughout this series was especially in those respawns, the way that they utilize flanks. The calls on their flanks, those players that hit those deep, long flanks. They invest so much time, and the other teammates on their team can keep and draw so much attention their way that flank can actually pay off. It was phenomenal. I was so happy to have seen things turn out the way that they turned out for Team KGK, and to bounce back from an 0-2 week and to get themselves on the board early with this one. It's got to help instill some confidence in them, and I'm looking at also at how this match has just obviously concluded the records for both these teams on the first half of the season, of the regular season. And KGK, they're up in the positive spot here of 4-3. If they can echo those results in the first half through to the second half, then I feel like that might be enough for them to advance in that top four. But in the end, it all comes down to how they're going to be able to perform, if they're going to be able to keep up to this level and standard up against teams in their group in the second half. Off stream, they are going to have a tall task ahead of them in facing off against Dawn of Chaos this week, and coming off of this win with some more confidence, and some more swagger in their step. This just might be exactly what the doctor ordered to help them be able to take down this side of Dawn of Chaos that actually showed signs of struggle from last week, dropping a map to OTB. Why not? The Titans are looking a little trouble, looking a little weak for wear. Try to kick them while it's down. And over on the side of NeX Gaming, they are going to exit this first half and go into the second half of the regular season with a record of 1-6. It's very unfortunate. It's rough, but statistically speaking, if I'm to be mathematically correct in all this stuff, they do have an opportunity to still make top four. It's a reach, but they need to really execute perfectly, and take all those VODs from all the matches that they lost through this first half, and make sure to take those, look them all over, find all those weaknesses, come prepared when you have to play all these teams. And starting off hot with an Austrian matchup against the side of Zealous Squad this week is that's a match that you gotta learn as much as you can from, so that you guys can adjust and come into those next weeks really, really hot and hotter than you did today. But massive shout out to them nonetheless. Thank you all for tuning on in. Nico, anything you want to say to the fans for both these teams for showing up and actually showing up and speaking for these on behalf of these teams, cheering them on?
Oh boy, chat has been been great. I always love a bit of a kick in the ass from chat. It's the implosion, dude. That was fun. Other than my appreciation for chat, you love it. That's all I have to say. Love you, chat.
Yeah, I love you guys too, and I hope you guys can do all you can to forgive me for my sins, and not giving you guys all that juicy gameplay footage from the first, almost 200 points of that hotly contested hard point. But I hope me and Nico's voices were able to give you guys enough entertainment and enough info to obviously stay up to date with how that was going when we did resume the gameplay. Now, Chase, this is the time in which you start to ramble and you make everybody leave the stream. And no, you're not going to leave the stream because I'm rambling. You're going to leave the stream because you guys want to take a short break with us in preparation for the next matchup tonight. And this next matchup coming up tonight is going to be between the sides of I believe, let me double check here, of Divine Future and 302 Esports Blue. So, for some people in chat that have call these matchups snooze fests, well, this one on paper is looking like a snooze fest. But for somebody like me and Nico, this is one that this is 302's last chance at least getting a win on the board, a series win on the board in that first half of the split. Maybe they really throw it all out here. They give us they give us the sink and the rest of their house in their effort. But Divine Future's been looking really hot. They came off of a strong win, I believe, last week against who was it off stream? I think it was off stream. They took down, I think it was Redux. They took down on stream last week, 3-1. So that was a really interesting series to watch. If you guys haven't already watched that, go back in the VODs and go check it all out. But this has been me and Nico in the first match of the day. We got ourselves a second one coming up, and we'll see you guys after the short break. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for that action. It's going to be muy fuego.
invincible.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the ALG League, and we have ourselves a interesting matchup coming to you guys here in week number 4. This is day number 1, and this is going to be the match number 2 as well here. After a very interesting first one where we saw KGK, come out on top 3-1 in a bit of a absolutely, not a bit of, and say absolutely, it was absolutely a grinder of a match at the end in that Hardpoint. Nico, welcome back as well after having your little time off on the weekend and whatnot. What'd you get up to on the weekend? We never addressed that yet.
Oh, family. Just catching up with some old family, reconnecting with my culture a little bit. It's been good, but today been tiring, man. I'm running on 3 hours of sleep. I'm gonna hit the sheets right after this match, but I'm gonna give the very last bit of what I got into this next matchup. So excited for it.
It's not just gonna be you, but it's gonna be 302 that needs to give the last bit of what they got as well here in this first half of the season, as they've showed up with no win on the board whatsoever series wise, just like their counterparts of all the way on the other other side of the pond in the other group. The side of Team Velis also winless. Thank God all the teams make it to playoffs, but you gotta still fight for some better seeding. You do not want to have to be the last place team going to playoffs and have to make a crazy run from the lower bracket. You want to still put up some sort of fight and maybe even instill some sort of level of fear to whoever you end up drawing in the first round of the playoffs, losers or winners bracket regardless. And it all starts here, and they have a very tough well-oiled machine team that they're going to be up against here in Divine Future.
Oh yeah, I mean 302 blue. You're 0-6, but you have potential. You really got to come out swinging. And boy, we've seen teams really dig their heels into the ground to really make some changes happen. Whether it's comms, changing shot calling positions, changing roles, even could be drastic. And who knows? Maybe we might see something different from 302 blue. Maybe they might get a nice early 1-round up lead. Let's just hope it's a competitive one and not a complete sweep. So,
wanting to see something different, Divine Future and 302 Esports, they have drawn an interesting, they've drafted off an interesting, series of maps here, as we're going to see ourselves on 3 back-to-back raids to open things off, and then on a checkmate and a garrison in the mix, a garrison for map 4, checkmate for map 5. I don't really see us getting that extension to a 4th or 5th map, but Grim, one of the stronger players on the side of 302 blue, he showed up and was the only player to really shoot back against the team of Flawless on stream last week. And here we go, 302 blue, Grim gonna start things off for the team, sort of drag the horse across on into this point to grab some opening time. Oh my lord, he pulled that out and shot immediately. He looked like that kid in VR chat that did the whole pop 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 skitty skeet pop pop with the gun. He pulled it out and had some weird shots that he landed. But that's the hip fire on that AK-74U, and it's still damaging and still tight. With the attachments obviously these teams choose and these players choose, Divine Future, regardless of attachments, their team's playing pretty tight in this one to start things off. 38 points to 3. They're trying to send some sort of message as they end the first half of the league off, potentially with a 4-3 if they can win this series. They're trying to end things off with a hot finish to try to send some messages to the other teams idling within the middle of their group here, within Group A, the hottest group in the league. And they're starting off really strong against this Team 302 side, really putting them in the dirt. 64 points to 4 here. Some scrap time not even going to really be given over. I don't think Divine Future is going to give them any shred of hope or enjoyment here. It's going to be like a father blowing out his son's candles on his birthday cake.
Candles.
It's going to be like one of those things. That's what I'm thinking here.
Candles, that's what I thought you were going to say. Divine Future. They're going to take out that one player that had the early rotation. Simply not going to be enough. 302 blue just and not the strongest rotation that you want to see coming out from them, but already one player now. Cloud's going to be the only one left up as he's waiting for his teammates to come back. Smart play to back up, but Sweep is going to be able to pick up 2. That's huge. Clearing out that middle lane. He knows that there's one player in the back here. The call has been made. The trophies are down. Not a whole lot of ordinances Clouds can use with, but he's going to get taken down. Sweep's already now cleaning out with 3 kills in and around the hill to give them this extra lead advantage, and he's still going on a tear right now in 4. He's got a minute on the hard point, 12 and 4 with a nice solid 3 KD, looking to make more happen. They're going to leave him behind to pick up the scrap time, and Grim's going to be there for the contest, but he's going to win it. Sweep is going to secure the last 15 seconds of this, and 302 Blue are just going to choose to go, and then there's the spawn trap. I cannot believe 302. Well, maybe they were just trying to ignore him. They probably knew he was there, but trying to ignore him, just trying to go on to the next rotation. Not challenged, just that electricity coming from him. But 13 and 4 now, the guy leading this lobby. Boy, he's come to play.
There's a reason why we call him the janitor, Nico, and it isn't just like it isn't because he he has to clean up messes. It's because he does dirty things as well. He deals with the dirty players, and he does more than really just sweep these plays off the map. He mops up, trophies along the way as well. But oh my lord, lying down, you gotta check those players hiding in the shadows right there is Sweep. He's continuing his streak here. Make that 9. Oh my lord, he can do it with any gun. He picked up a Krieg in the background here. He's gonna make that thing sing like an American Idol performer here. He's gonna take off the noggin
10
of Flacco. That's gonna be 10 big dogs right now for him in a streak. This is absolutely brutal stuff right now. 302 Blue,
Oh my.
not really given an inch to breathe here. This is like they didn't take the right lessons when it came to scuba diving, because right now they're just getting choked out in the water, looking like drowning, looking like they're drowning. They sink or swim, they're sinking. The only swimming that they're doing is going to be in that pond when their bodies clap to the floor. As 302 Blue, looking blue in the face once again, and oh boy, Sweep will absolutely blow up those players with the streak. Divine Future putting 302 Blue in their divine place, and this is like putting on a confessional to a murderer right here. And Divine Future, they're just unforgiving right here. 302 Blue, not given an inch to work with, or even a millimeter, if you guys know that measurement, all you Canadians out there, non-Americaners. But Nico, what a massive opening first round of Hills that went the way of Divine Future and 302 Blue. Do we count them out now?
Oh man, it's tough to say. They're down almost 120 points, but they are certainly missing the hard point. Just as much as I've missed Dylan and chat, the banter, it's back. We missed you, buddy. Better late than never. Throwing shots at flawless, it's amazing. But to count 302 out, man, it's the first hard point. You never know. We know that on paper this team is just very lackluster, but you never know. The S&D could be absolutely astonishing. Something could have changed. But, with Sweep playing the way he is, 26 and 6 with he's 15 seconds off from 2 minutes. And they already hit the 200 point club. There's a Sweep on a 5 streak. He's going to get the second. Oh my goodness, 25 seconds left on this hill. He's just doing everything that he possibly can to help his team. And honestly, he is the team at this time and point. Like, he's just been absolutely electric. I guarantee you the comms right now are feeling great. Smiles all around. 232 to 65 now. They're going to get the rotation. Divine Future here for the contest. Trying to push these players out.
Oh my
win it. 45 seconds on this hill.
Oh,
they only need
so insatiable.
Oh my
The
goodness.
man Sweep.
That's his second 10 piece of this map. And 4 seconds left is needed. There's going to be nobody there for the contest. Nobody good enough at least to take Divine Future. And 250 to 65, a smack and a half. Sweep, the MVP of that map. Goodness gracious.
Great balls of fire. As
Good
Sweep
Lord.
just putting on a clinic here, and he's not going to be giving out any COVID shots to these patients over here on the side of 302 Blue. He's guarding all of those. He's taking all of those, and he's putting them into the bank. And oh my lord, Would I love would any of those 302 players love to have their time back there? Because, man, they got absolutely wasted there. And
That has to make you think how that Search and Destroy is gonna go. And as we wait for that to load up, we are just gonna, we're just gonna check Sweep's task manager. Maybe get him a piss test or something.
yeah, I'm gonna send him a cup under the table. Might even have to hold it out for him. The guy deserves all of it. The guy deserves like this special treatment after that performance. Oh Lord. Like
Oh boy.
let's just let's send him a medal already in the mail. It could be made out of tin foil, but it still glisten. As this guy's deserving something. I might need to ask my mom to make him some cookies, but because Jesus Louise. What a sweet performance from him.
Oh yeah. 100%.
But you look at the here, I got like 3 things I could probably point to that can all prove why that made sense right there. You look 0-6, 3-3. You look people that voted, the fans, the people at home that vote on my Twitter on these polls, they ain't wrong. Like 96% favorite for the side of Divine Future. The people that voted for 302 were probably friends and family. Like, it's just it's so one-sided on paper. It's one-sided right now on the maps as well. And you gotta your hearts are with 302 fans and like the players here, because I love that they show up and they play their matches. That's something that you gotta give them props for, because they don't just, it looks like we're gonna have a player disconnect here from this one, and so I'm gonna make sure to have this one restart for you folks, as we are missing a player for Divine Future here. So don't you guys worry. But man, 302 down bad, not just in the first half of the season, but just in the endings of this first half, and they're looking like they're going to be down bad even worse, coming off of this week, as they still have to play off stream, I believe. Who do they got off stream? Let me see here. They got Team Flawless off stream. That's going to be a brutal match there. We already saw that one play out, I think, on stream last week. So
Chat's been a rumble, Dylan. The villain we want. Divine will get smoked and they finally have to play a real team like Hi-Fi. Eesh.
Hey, they have Hi-Fi to have to play. They ended up going 5 maps against Hi-Fi and losing it 3-2 the last time they played, and it was off stream. So, they play off stream again against them, I believe, this week. Yeah, so Divine Future plays off stream against Hi-Fi. It might be on my channel, who knows? But again, like, that's a close matchup there. ADS Gaming, they don't even have, ADS Gaming had a really close one against Hi-Fi. Like, literally, you're looking at Flawless Gaming being at the top of Group A. Then you're looking, in my eyes, you're looking at ADS, Divine Future, and Hi-Fi being the teams that round out that the top 4. And then just on the cusp of being in there is Divided We Fall and Redux Rain. I feel like those 2 teams are the darker horses in that middle pack, but it's just so competitive for that top 4. I'm seeing Team Flawless, they're with the roster they're fielding right now. It's just really, they're just really strong. They're a cut above the rest of the competition in that group, and as they continue to put wins together on the board and take down ADS Gaming like they did already this in the first half of the season, if they get on that board and they take wins off of Divine Future, Hi-Fi as well, and then ADS Gaming once again, they're in the top. They're, regardless, like, nobody's gonna touch that. And then you're going to see ADS Gaming and Hi-Fi and Divine Future all fighting for that, that spot somewhere in second, third, and fourth. And the other teams that could sneak their way in, like I said, Divided We Fall and Team Redux Rain. Those 2 are just really fighting to not have losers bracket to start. But we did run into a lag out from one of the players. So while the technical difficulties are being resolved, folks, we're going to jump over to the map screen and quickly let you guys look at that, and obviously I'll let Nico know once again how the maps are going to go throughout this one, as you know, 3 back-to-back raids. So we saw one, the Hardpoint concluded in favor of the Divine Future squad, and then 2 more to follow suit, and then we see Garrison if we go to that map 4, which on the cards, not really something drawn up in the first hand. And Checkmate as well. That's the S&D to end things off. Now, Nico, any words before our quick break?
Oh boy, it's gotta be Y raid. Okay, I missed raid when it came out, but when we get them 3s back to back to back, and I guess the last thing I gotta say is Junior COD League better, no cap. That's great. Oh man, but I mean we're here for Call of Duty, man. You know, regardless, we get a back to back to back raid. Let's just hope we make it out and we can see another map. That's what I gotta say.
Yeah, we'll see if we do make it out. What an upsetting map that would be for the side of Divine Future. But yeah, we will be right back, guys, after this short little break, so don't go anywhere. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. Divine Future up 1-0 in the series, and a first blood going the way of 302 Blue. Gotta start the first map. Gotta start this map off well. Nico, you here? You present?
Yes, I am. I'm currently here.
Okay, good to know. And man, that opening right here, it's gotta be. I gotta feel good for 302 Blue here. You know, Grim's still on the board. He's one of their stronger S&D players from what I saw. You know, in the maps prior, and with him still on the board, if you check and cut out, kill this sweep character lying down here like a snake, he will be able to live. He turns around, Flacco will drop as well, and Divine Future, they win that with a really quick 3 kills in the endings of that round here, and cheeky spot from Ash here, gonna be able to find Brixie and then punish Flacco for not checking the corner. Children, check your corners.
Yikes. You know, playing rug, man, that's such a sneaky play. Dylan's stepdad who owns is the DWF owner. Oh, poor buddy, you know, Oregoner smashing your mom. Poor bud. Yeah, I love the chat, man. I just the banter is great. But as we start, you know, with Divine Future now up one, the as well as getting the first blood and sweep is gonna get that clean wall bang through that cheeky little peek. He just knew exactly where his head was and saw that X-ray vision off the bat. 302 are gonna be down 2 players now. It's 2 versus 4. Brixie's gonna get that. Ooh, not even. He had the flank, but wasn't able to secure that kill. And boy, Divine Future gonna go up 2-0. That could have been a huge play for the side of 302, but just wasn't quick enough. Fortunate as that is, you know, 2-0 now. Divine Future looking strong as they were in the hardpoint.
Yep, strong, definitely a good word to describe how Divine Future have been looking, you know, even on stream. I would say, you know, in their last on-stream match last week, they looked really strong as well, up against, you know, their rivals in the league, Redux, Rain, and they're no slouch. They're definitely, you know, like I said before, they're a team to be reckoned with in that group. Top 4 potential there. They have the likes of actually all 4 of their players have at least, you know, have their name in that top 30 players of the league to be, you know, looked at for being considered the top player of the league itself. Right now, we are going to see a nice little flanking play come out from the sweep, and they're going to pull it back. They saw themselves in a 3 versus 4. They saw the overload over on that side, but, you know, that, once again, those plays, you know, how you counter players that are hiding in those corners is by checking your corners. Regardless of where you are, there's never, you know, you never know where players could be lurking. And Flacco will get a big kill right there. He takes down the player that was working with the FAR. Interesting enough, I guess, maybe one of the players on Divine Future maybe sleeping already on the side of 302 Blue. Is 302 Blue now in the 2 versus 1. Cloud's a new face, I believe, to this roster that I don't recognize from maps and matches before. Gonna look to poke his head out here. He's gonna find the barrel of Sweep's gun here. Flacco might be able to take Sweeps out as well. He does. The nice patient play to jump up window and catch him off guard is good for the kill. And this plant, or not plant, but defuse will also be able to come through for Flacco. And 302 Blue, they get around on the board early. Gotta look good. You know, that's at least something that you can be proud of. You see yourselves up on that screen. You get to see the 302 Blue 1. And, you know, every little thing counts when it comes to maybe getting momentum to go your way. Right, Nico?
Oh yeah, I mean, if you got players like Sweet playing the way that he has been, boy, you're in a bit of trouble. But you know, you're able to stop a bit of the bleeding. You're only down 1 round. 302 are able to secure that 3rd round. They're going to be on the offensive now, looking to work this A push, sending, I believe, they have a QBZ on the side of Divine Future. You know, a bit of a meta shift with the Krieg, but 302 are gonna, 2 of them already dropped down. Divine Future already up 2-player advantage, and boy, the bomb is kind of being forced to work over at A, and Brixie's going to be able to get a kill for himself now. But Grim is going to drop to ashes. 1 left alive with the bomb. A 1 versus 3. Brixie's left all alone to do it by himself. He's got an AK-47, but he's going to lose it. Divine Future just there for the swarm, bringing them up 3-1 in this map 2 now.
Oh my lord, look at that! The new camo being put to use here.
What?
For Sem. And gotta love it. That new Ice Dragon camo is actually so attractive. Let's take a look at that. I wish he could do the little inspector. He could do the little inspect thing on it so we can see it float in the air a little bit. But we'll see. He might do that in celebration if his team wins the next round and he's still alive. As the new round has started, it is round number 5, and Tweet, he's gonna get himself another first blood on this one. It's going to be a 4 versus 3. 302 Blue kind of snuffed once again off the break, but they keep things slow and they keep their lives. They do not throw too many out the window too early. Flacco nearly diving off the top
Imagine.
ropes and into the gutter there. But he will still be able to stick that landing, as the bomb itself will be stuck at B. Trixie gonna
Not a
try
bad
to take,
position.
not gonna be able to take the player down, but instead he will end up falling
Oh,
over by pillars, and everything's gonna be left up to Clouds to try to make the round go his way in the 1 versus 3. And 302 blue. They may be blue, but it ain't for the ice that any of their players have. It's the ice is all in the veins of this divine future side. And Nico,
boy.
what can we smile at so far from 302 blue besides that 1 round win?
Ah, boy. As disrespectful as this may come off, but I don't mean it. Nobody's sitting at a goose egg. That's something to be happy about. I mean, you are down 3 rounds, but nobody's got a goose egg. Everybody's got at least a kill up on that board. Something, not much to work with, but Sweep at a 9-1, working a 4 streak, potentially looking to secure some streaks for his team, trying to gain some utility to make this a more convincing win. Working the wall bang, but nothing seems to connect. Ashes is going to be able to get the first blood. He's going to get 2, but the trades are just not even for the side of 302 there, and they're left at a disadvantage now. Sweep making the good play to kind of back down from that play. And Ashes is going to get the flank. He's going to get 3, and that's going to bring Divine Future up now 5-1. And I gotta wonder if that Krieg skin is GA'd because of the tracer rounds. That's interesting.
Ashes, they all fell down.
That's like, yeah. I mean, that flank was nasty. Clouds had no idea he was there.
Yeah, no, for sure, definitely something to talk about, and when it comes to the tracer rounds. But from what I would expect, since it wasn't something that was pre-explained and pre-put into place amongst the teams in the league, been voted on by the captains ahead of time going into this week, that it's going to be allowed to be used on the table for this week. And we're going to have to get that GA to be approved and put into place for next week's competition. But Divine Future, nonetheless, regardless on those rounds or not, it's only 3 kills we see Sem with right now on the board. The person on the top, Sweep not using tracers at all to trace out the bodies with chalk and lay him on the ground in such a disrespectful manner at times. And here we go. Clouds will end up just walking right into his maker, and there we go.
Wow.
2-piece is going to come through. 11 kills for Sweep. He carries over the absolutely nuts stuff that he was able to do in that hardpoint and bring us a nuts scoreline for himself, a KD for himself in the S&D, and Sweep looking like he's going to potentially sweep the cards and get player of the series at this point, as he's already found himself 2 players of the match of 2 of the maps. 1 more and he gets 3 on the board for himself. And I'm looking over at this league MVP race right here, and he could end up hopping quite a few names if he's able to get this if he's able to get the series MVP on stream in this matchup here.
Yeah, certainly viable. I mean, he's a considerable prospect for the team of Divine, and Ashes even turning up, trying to challenge for that top frag spot. Sitting at a 9-2, and I believe Sweep ended that with a 9-1. I believe it was a 10-1. I believe he got second kill down middle map. Yeah, he got a second kill down middle map, and then he gets to third. He goes 11-1 by down basketball courts. I didn't know he picked that one up. I thought that was an assist. But Sweep 11-1, a solid 11 kill death ratio, getting the last best play cam kill. An amazing player. Hardpoint was just on point. The search and destroy was impeccable. A 6-1. You got to feel great about that. And now you're hopping into the control on a map that this team had showed absolute dominance on. In both respawns and search and destroy. And now you're thrown into this X factor that is control. The offense and defensive change in pace is just totally different. But if we see what we saw from the hard point, the slaying power and the respawns, it's looking it's looking imperative for side of 302 to make a change in order for them to really put a stop to this momentum because
That's the
ooh,
thing. It's like, what do they change? Where have the weaknesses been showing on the side of Divine Future? Where are the cracks that they can look to potentially exploit? You know, like within the last 2 game types, they've been looking very flawless. The only thing that potentially could be a downfall and weakness for Divine Future is, some of their players, young. Some of them are very young players, and they could end up getting, becoming too full of themselves, overconfident, and over pushing things, playing in those spawns, messing up the control of spawns, and maybe that's what ends up giving 302 an opportunity to take this map. I don't know. They've got to do more. They've got to have the Pope praying for them at this point, because and I'm not talking about Italy. I'm talking about the one in the Vatican, because man, they need some sort of miracle to really take out a map in this series, let alone win it. Oh my lord, would Lightning have to strike 3 times in the same spot for that to happen? But we are just about to load into this next map, and Nico, what's your prediction here? Do you see Divine Future end up losing a round in this control? Do you see a 3-0 in the control itself, or I don't know. What are your thoughts
boy.
here?
I see Divine Future taking this a 3-1. They're looking to go to bed early, because boy,
Well, they heard you.
don't seem. Yeah, I mean,
You're knackered.
I got a bit. I got a bit in me, but Divine Future. I mean, you're 302. You haven't won a single series, which not bad. There's room for improvement. I mean, the only way left is up. You're at the bottom. You can only go up from there. But looking at a reverse sweep now, you got to win this control if you're looking for this reverse sweep, even for the first step. It's going to be very tough. And that question of what it is they need to change is a very tough one to ask and a very tough one to answer, because there's not a lot of information you can draw on what they need to change here, because it's just a simple fact that they've just been outgunned and outplayed just at every corner. So honestly, from different VODs, you can become more analytic, but in this series, like my change for 302 Blue is get good. Like that, honestly, like that's just
Like
how
the
it's been
host.
playing. Yeah, just like the host, get good. Get good, kid. Like there's just not enough information
Hey,
playing like
one
Divine.
thing you gotta give them props for right now is the way they've just started. They've held this
Yeah.
defense over at A pretty well. They've been able to take down, the first line of aggression that Divine Future has thrown at this point, but now they're starting to falter when it comes to the defense of the second and third lines of offense. And, the play calls are coming through, and, they're making the offensive running backs on the side of Divine Future, their subs, are making it through the O-line, and looking like they're starting to sack these QBs over on the side of 302 Blue. And, Bricks, he's 3-1, and he's putting up a bit of a fight over here. He's doing a lot more hardcore than really anything, as Laundry is going to get overrun by Ashes here, and that point of A is going to get overrun, and that's going to be, a minute and 50, just shy of 2 minutes to work with to get that B point secured, and the life lead, it's marginal. So there is definitely space for 302 Blue to work with, and Ashes actually slipped by that player on the tree. What an interesting turn of events there. He's going to maybe catch Clouds by storm, and he will end up dropping, as Sem also drops in the back at jungle. But B point, it's going to be stacked up on by 2 players at least here. We might see 3 players jump on this point. We're going to see at least, we are going to see the 1 tick of progress that will come through here. Ashes will get forced off the point, but with sweeps in that corner and not being checked, the 3 stack will be good. And with those players all spawning out over at Laundry and no time to get onto this point, this should be all she wrote on that first opening round. Divine Future, they practically walked from point to point, executing. They could execute at whatever pace they want. Their guns, their accuracy, everybody's frying. It's a team effort. It's not just an individual dragging them all through the mud. It is Divine Future looking like the Divine Future we expect.
Oh yeah, I mean, boy, they had a slow start, but they really started to turn those gears up. SEM 6-3 now, and just about every player on the side of Divine Future is working on those streaks, looking to make them a more prominent figure in that nice clean number. You know, you want to hit 6, you want to hit 7, and SEM seems to be the first guy up. He's going to get the first blood, and now on a 3 streak, make that 4. Every player on the side of 302 seemingly going to drop. They're going to rotate through the back, getting kind of scared, push back in their spawn, and Divine Future now are playing in the back of their spawn, absolutely bullying them, getting these flanks, these back turns, and Flacco. I dude, like, that's got to be tough. You know, it's just morale booster for the side of Divine Future, and boy, getting picked like a little kid, the David to the Goliath. But you know, the really thing you got to focus on is just working your way out of that trap, because you know, you get stuck back there at the start of the round and you're already down 5 lives and you haven't had any progress on any of the points. And boy, 40 seconds on it, but they seem to be full stacking now. SEM going to be able to pick off 1. 2 players left now. Flacco's going to be able to, the second guy to be dropped down. SEM on his 5 streak now, but he's going to get taken out through the wall. But still, his teammates are going to be there to back him up. The defense is going to be there. The first tick is not going to come through. 27 seconds now. These players need to get there, but just the lives are not in their favor.
Well, you know, we are going to see this side of Divine Future continue to walk through this, not just the series, but also this map. It ain't going to be like March Madness where we see a 2nd seed get taken down by, you know, a 15th seed in, you know, like with Oral and Ohio State. But, you know, we will see this side of Divine Future continue to cruise through this matchup. And, you know, little to no resistance whatsoever from 302 Blue. And they're really just trying to take every single map, I guess, with a grain of salt to really learn from. And it's unfortunate they're not able to pick up this stuff fast enough here. But, you know, for the organization, though, I can't feel too bad for them. This is their 2nd roster, their lower tier roster, that is in fact holding this spot, and they do have a stronger roster over in the opposite group. That is the 302 Gold side that I had the pleasure of witnessing some of their action, you know, over the weekend, talking to, you know, one of their captains as well, or their team captain in delivery, and do they look like a way better oiled machine than this one? You know, so 302 Gold, 302 as an organization, 302 Esports, not as in the dumps as one might suggest if they only know them by the blue roster, as that gold roster is definitely a different sort of freak of nature.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude, like, this is just a smack and a half. Like, Divine Future already working on 2 hills at the same time. The first take is going to be guaranteed for the side on B. And, you know, the pressure is just not letting up. Like 302, every single player is going negative, and on the side of Divine Future, every single player is going positive. Streaks coming in. I mean, the artillery is there for SEM. And, you know, it's only a matter of time before they start using them. That A point's going to be secured. 2 minutes left on the hill. 1 tick has already been done. 2 left to be had. And, boy, Ash is just winning those important gunfights, getting up close and personal right in their faces, not giving them any space to breathe whatsoever. But, boy, it's not going to be a close one. I can't see 302 coming out on top of this one with a life deficit, with the tick progress already coming in, the weak offense, the weak defense. 302 just simply don't have it.
Yeah, no, 302 feeling blue for sure, and they will end up dropping in this map and in the series altogether. 3-0 thrashing on both fronts, and expectations met, not really exceeded by Divine Future. 302 Esports, though, you know, gotta give them credit where credit is due. They did not forfeit. They played it all out. Experience is what they're getting at the end of the day, and that's pretty much all I believe this team is really asking for in terms of getting that opportunity to play in this league, the Masters League. So, you know, and obviously, you know, like what Tim the Tatman and other players in Warzone, you know, when you always have to have that one underperforming player on your team. There always is one that has to be at the bottom of the lobby. It's the same sort of thing in both of these groups. There always has to be one team that, you know, that rides the, you know, sucks the hind teat in each of these groups. And, you know, 302, they're the ones in the bottom. And, you know, hey, we all need a bottom bitch at some point, you know. And 302 Blue, they're definitely the one in the group. But hey, Mad props to them. They take it all with a grain of salt. They have good vibes. I've talked to them, off of the outside of stream, and they're happy to be here, and we got to thank them for being here and at least showing up for these matches and playing them out, because they give me and you some more time to be on the mic together, and
Oh yeah.
witness and applaud these other teams that they're up against. They of course like Divine Future here, who once again another strong performance by Sweep, I believe. Did you happen to track and maybe catch if he was the one who maybe took this map as MVP for that roster?
Oh, just simply by the hard point in the search and destroy, like even with control put to the side, 100%.
He
Like
takes series,
MVP,
yeah, right. He's
yeah,
taking series.
100%.
Yeah,
But for that map, I believe it was him and Ash that were
the one's neck and
pretty.
neck for it. Okay,
Yeah, they were neck
so
and neck.
so
It
I'll
was
look
like
at.
that in search.
Hey, I'll look it over, but based off of this really strong performance here, he's a shoo-in to be in that voting at the
Oh,
end
yeah.
of the week. And if you guys here that are tuning in right now have not placed your votes yet on week 4's MVPs, go over to my Twitter and go check it out. Drop that vote down there, because some of these players really need your help in trying to get back into getting a potential interview with myself later on this week after a few matches. And right now, I'm just gonna take a quick little glance at it to get a little glance at who's in the lead here, and it looks like it's gonna be Hope right now who has a lead. There's 3 hours left, 109 votes on the cards here, and Hope and 47 fighting it out for who's gonna get that interview. So other than checking me out and checking out this tweet, you guys gotta go and give my boy Nico Tender, the Chicken Dallas super fan himself. Gotta give him some love on his Twitter. And if you guys haven't already, check out ALG's social medias. They've been popping while we've been obviously giving you guys all the action. These teams have been fighting it out in the league. And if you guys can, show up and drop a follow to some of these teams. If not both of these, at least if you can find the Divine Future players, drop them some follows after this really strong performance they were able to put on the board this week against 302. And Nico, any last words? Anything you want to talk about? Maybe if you want to weigh in on any of the on predictions for some of the future matches this week. You got anything you want to speak about?
Oh boy. Honestly, the only thing I really want to touch base on is I don't see Dawn of Chaos slowing down. I see them really picking it back up, and driving it home. Strong team, but that's really about it. These teams have been performing about what we expected. We haven't had a whole lot of surprises that we've seen in the CDL for contrast, but
Oh
for the
yeah,
most part on paper. Yeah, on paper,
CDL
these
has
teams.
definitely had some interesting stuff happen.
Oh yeah.
London getting, bro, it's like witching hour there. It's scary hours for them.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, I gotta love the rookie presence, that all these rookies getting opportunities to showcase themselves on the CDL stage. Not stage, proverbial stage, because we're not at LAN, but on the online stage, in the online competition. Gotta feel happy for them. I got a few Canadians up in there as well. Gotta feel good. Represent, oh Canada, baby, we the North. And but yeah, no, this has been me, for Trixel and Nico,
Yep.
and we have once again enjoyed bringing you guys the action tonight, and like always in the Masters League, as this week will continue. We have on the cards for tomorrow's matchups, I believe we will be seeing. Guys, give me just a moment. Chase, you got to be ready. You can't delay like this. You got us blue balled right now, Chase. Come on, we wanna finish strong here. Wednesday, Dawn of Chaos versus 302 Gold, and Team Hi-Fi versus Elemental Gaming. So, we're seeing two strong teams, and Dawn of Chaos and Team Hi-Fi showcase their talents once again on the stage for you folks here at the ALG stream. And definitely, if I was to look at those two matchups and see, which one was the more competitive one, more interesting one, Dawn of Chaos versus 302 Gold, I think that one's going to be a very interesting one. I see that one potentially going the distance, especially with Dawn of Chaos dropping a map last week to OTB. Those accidents can't keep happening, and if they do, then we might start seeing them shift from being orange to blue. As Nico, thanks once again for being on the desk with me tonight, man. I appreciate it. That was fucking awkward!